What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a cook video for you. I'm going to cook up some deer that I got this year. I'm going to do it a little different than normal. Something that's going to be a really cool recipe. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. So you got your deer meat, pat it dry, and cut it just little thin slices like that. Now let this soak overnight. Unfroze it, let it soak overnight in the refrigerator just to draw a little bit of the blood. We're going to cut them about a 1/4 of an inch thick. Doesn't really matter for this recipe because we're going to cut it again. So now that I've got those cut into those strips, take it, cut them long ways. Once you get all of them cut into about like that, we're going to cut them again in just little cubes. And if some of them aren't perfect, that's fine. But you're going to want to cut all of them to about like that and get just little cubes. Okay, once I have all the cubes cut that I'm going to use, put them in a bowl. And I'll keep a little bit that I'm going to cook separately. I'll just leave those in the strips that we cut. Okay, now that I've got the cubes all set, I'll take those. Got a pan of hot butter, put those in. And I'm going to take a little bit of the tenderest buttery steakhouse blend. Put some of that in. And I'll mix that all up and start letting it soak in the butter and get cooked in there. Give that a couple minutes, and if you can cook all the way, it's probably better if it gets a little more cooked on this recipe. But if it doesn't get fully cooked all the way through, it's not too big of a deal. So I'll mix that all in. Let that cook. I'll be back in just a minute. Now here's what it's looking like as it's cooking. Just continue to mix it, and then once the meat cooks all the way, we'll just shut off the heat to it. It's about a medium heat, but those little cube pieces will cook pretty fast. Alright, so this meat's done cooking now. I'm going to take it out of a bowl. I'm just going to put it all in this bowl. Let it rest for a few minutes. This one goes back on. I'm going to put just a little bit more butter in there, and then I'm going to put these pieces here back in the pan. I'm going to cook these whole. Alright. So we're going to let those cook, turn the heat down just a little bit. Alright, so now I've got some green onions. You get these at the store. I'm going to chop these up. This is going to be a very important part of what we're making today. And for this recipe, we're not going to use the white part of the onion. We're just using the green. Okay, so now the meat's done. Just pulled it out of the pan, the bigger strips, and I've got my little cubed meat here. I've got the green onions here, and here I've got a 1.5 blocks of cream cheese. So we're going to mix all these together, the cubed meat, the onions, and the cream cheese. We're going to mix those together. Now it's really important that on your cream cheese you let it sit out and get room temperature or close to room temperature for maybe an hour or so before you do this. It makes it a lot easier to mix. You can just take a fork and mix it up. Otherwise it's still really hard and you can't mix it as well. So make sure you let it sit out for at least an hour. Try to get it to room temperature if possible. Alright, so I've got my green onions and my cream cheese mix. Now I'm going to add the meat. Then we'll mix that in. Just work it in with the fork as well. All right, now we have it all mixed. This is what it's gonna look like right there. Cream cheese and all the mixture ready. I've got some oil on the cast iron skillet. That's getting hot, and that's probably, I don't know, an inch or so deep in there. So now, you've got these, picked up these little square wonton or crab Rangoon shells. So you're just going to get a little bit of this, so a little scoop of it, put it in there. And I use a brush, it helps a lot better. So just get it wet a little bit in a bowl, brush the edges, and this stuff will get you, these shells have a lot of flour on them, so when you get it wet, it's going to make your fingers get all sticky and everything like that, but that's fine. You're going to fold it up like that, and they stick. Once it's wet, you wet the edges and it sticks really well. And you're just going to fold it on each side there and bring the ends up, pinch them together. Then you're going to have something like that. So we'll do a few of these. Put that mixture in the middle just a little bit. If it gets too full, it's good. When the heat gets to it, it's going to all drip out the side. That cheese will melt and it'll run out the side, and you'll just have an empty shell. So make sure that when you seal it, you're pinching them all together really well, so that it doesn't leak out on you once it's in the oil. And these things would be great for like just to have with dinner, great for like an appetizer. But just can't beat it. A deer, venison, whatever you want to call it. Cheese, wonton, I guess? I don't know, but they're good. So you do that and make several more of them. Alright, I think the oil's just about hot enough, so we're going to try to put a couple in. Let's see. That's it. Alright, here's what it's looking like. I float it up to the top. I'm going to try to flip these over without breaking the shells. And once I flip them all over, I'll let them cook for another couple minutes. If you don't have those closed all the way, they're going to leak out, and all your inside filling is going to leak all over the pan. You can pull them out and you won't have anything left, so always make sure they're sealed really well when you're putting them together. It's like just a couple minutes and they'll be done. Alright, these are like they're just all done now. So that outside shell gets kind of crispy on there when you're touching them. And they're still gonna, shell's still gonna cook for another minute after you take them out. So I like to take them out before they get really brown. Okay, got these all taken out, and here's what they look like. They smell great, and they actually taste really great as well. But here is what you're going to use to dip them in, or what I use anyway. It's a sweet chili sauce. You can get whatever kind of brand you want, but the sweet chili sauce really gives an excellent flavor. So I'm going to put that in a bowl. Here's one of these. Open it up. This thing is slowly really hot. It looks like on the inside. So that deer meat cooks, if you don't get it done completely all the way, still cooks a little bit. Dip it in some of the sweet chili sauce. Excellent. It's really important that you put those onions in there, the green onions. Gives it just a little bit of extra flavor. If you don't have them, not that big of a deal, but I like it with them. Probably wouldn't cook it without the green onions. And sweet chili. Sweet chili has a couple different spices in there, some chili and like different peppers and things like that, so it makes it really, really good. So hope you like this video, and let me know down in the comments if you some kind of a different venison recipe, and let me know what you think about this one. Thanks a lot.